Hello and welcome to my final project for C291. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the code real quick. So this is just an array containing facts. These are three structs that I use for the game state, such as the player tile and the actual game state itself. These are just definitions of my functions. This is the main function that contains the main gameplay loop. It'll just like print the menu information and then load the players. And if they're not in the database already, then it'll add them. It'll create a new game state, and then this is the main game loop, which will just keep running over and over until all the hungry are fed. And then after that, the game will show the leaderboard. It will show all the players and display whoever has the lowest score, which is considered the winner. These functions right here just do input validation. They're just to make sure that the user input is within the allowed index. I use this load all players function. It does two things primarily. It updates this integer pointer that tells us how many players are in the program, and it also will dynamically create a block of memory for the players from the save file and make it available to whichever function is currently using it. It'll also dynamically resize as you use it. So like the load player function, for example, when you start it, it'll load all the players, or it'll load your player, but it'll load all the players first, bring the count, and I'll use that count to loop through up until I reach it, and that way I know I'm not going out of bounds, and I will use string compare to find if the name actually exists or not. So add player, it'll just add the player, append them to the end of the file if they're not in there. Update player score, this will do something similar where if the player's score at the end is lower than their previous one, which is considered better, it'll just go ahead and update it. If they're not in it, just to be safe, it'll go ahead and add them to the array and append it to the end. Show leaderboard, this will be ran at the very end after the gameplay loop's over. It'll use that load all players method, and it'll load all the players up through, show all their scores, and then at the end it'll check to see if the person with the highest score is on there, and then it'll display their name. Some utility functions, that just generates a random number. This one I use to draw the 3x3 game grid using a nested for loop. This initialize, it just creates a new game state with all the default values of each variable. This question system, it'll just go through and ask people questions, and the last index is the correct answer. That's how I check to see if they got the answer correct or not by looping through. And players can also have actions they can do every turn, such as planting seeds, and this will just go to the correct index of the 2D array and then plant a seed, and then another one is water plant, which will do the same thing, but it'll progress the plant to the next stage of growth, and once it's the final, which is a capital T, it'll be ready to harvest. There's also pests. You can choose to remove a pest by answering a question. You can harvest by answering a question, and these all work similar. They just check the index, and yeah, there's random events that can occur. They use random numbers, and the events just do different things. Like some are good, some are bad. Like seeds, or like volunteers show up and help you to your overall hunger count. Handle pests, this just determines at the beginning of every turn if a pest shows up or not. And then show sustainability fact will run after every time you successfully harvest a plant and show you a random fact. So here's the game just running. So right now I have 1 seed, 1 pest, and 100 hungry. So I can go ahead and press 1 to plant a seed. I'll plant it at A2. So now you'll see another period here that represents another seed, and then I can water all plants. Well, it ended, but this will just continue running until you have 0 hungry people left, and then you'll be declared the winner, and it'll show the leaderboard.